G'day mateys, WWE and Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer here, Bushwhacker Luke. And you are watching Countdown City WrestleCast.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me is that guy, Tommy.
Hello.
And we got Big Mike.
What's up, guys? Second show 2025. Still not going to rhyme.
Still not going to jive. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
Good.
Nailed it.
Hold on. I speak jive.
Yeah.
One of the greatest backstage moments I think I'd ever seen, because like I did not expect. Well,
Oh, I was thinking of the original, like airplane.
well,
where
that
it's
too.
referenced from,
But,
but
Yeah.
But I remember that now.
I did love it because like Shawn Michaels like doing that. I was like, well, he did grow up in San Antonio, so actually that makes more sense than it actually probably should. So.
Well, appreciate everybody joining us. Hopefully by now, everyone, I would imagine about a fourth of the people out there have already done with their New Year's resolutions. This is about
If
that
you don't
time.
make any, you
I
can't make
didn't
any.
even make it.
Exactly.
I didn't even lie to
Hacks.
myself
Hacks.
this year. I was like, you know what?
Same.
I ain't gonna do that.
Like, just be better, right? That's all you really got to worry about.
New year, same old me.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
New Year. I'm not changing at this
New
point,
Year,
guys.
just getting
And
older.
besides, if anything told me that if anything about last year proved to be apparently how I am is just fine. I got to hug Deborah Estelle Phillips, so I don't give a shit. what
You
people
did a
don't
lot of
like
stuff
me.
last year, but yes, that's
Yeah, you
That was a highlight, dude. Like I hugged the Yellow Time Force Ranger. Trust me, the rest of the year was just gravy after that. I already had to eat
Wow.
potatoes. So
Today we're going to recap, talk a bit about New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 19, maybe the fallout with Wrestle Dynasty as well. We'll discuss that first Raw on Netflix, the good, the bad, the boo birds, and we'll preview Hybrid Experience's first event of 2025, the first local event of the year, I believe, too, as well for any.
actually, TWA is going to beat it out by
Friday,
1 day.
yeah.
Oh,
one day.
Yeah,
Oh,
by 1 day.
that's
TWA got stuck in there by
right.
1 day.
They did
Also,
that.
Happy New Year, Sean, and welcome the women's
Reina
GM of.
Hola, Reina Pig. See you there. So
We actually had an announcement for the TWA show because they're having a women's title match.
interesting.
RCW. So she
Cool.
apparently, according to her post, is bringing in the Raging Bull Mandy Fernandez. I don't know, as a spectator, as a special ref. We'll see what happens. Enforcer.
Interesting.
Sweet.
Well, see how that lays out. Yeah. Speaking of which, RCW, I think the tickets went on sale, going on sale tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow, I think at like
Tomorrow
9
morning, 8 a.m. for Rumble Royale, which is February 16th, right?
Yes.
The Sunday? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the 16th, and it's they're gonna have 2 Rumbles again.
2 Rumbles again. Have they announced anybody that's going to be in them yet?
So technically, no.
Okay.
Morgan Mercy has put out her schedule for the beginning of the year and did have RCW Rumble Royale. Now, assuming that's a Rumble, maybe she gets a title shot? Question mark.
Yeah.
But
I
she's
mean-
apparently involved, and there is someone else we found out was involved. I don't know if they want to share info yet. So no one officially confirmed, but at least one person I've seen who just because of their schedule they let out.
But betting against Morgan
Okay.
Mercy is a terrible, terrible idea.
Yeah.
I should know.
And if history is any indicator, those tickets will probably sell out in about 30 minutes to an hour. So, yeah, see if the servers get flooded when those hit on sales as well. So,
Yeah, I need to get my usual seats.
yeah.
Right. You know, that kind of surprised me. Like with the way RCW does numbers, and Brandon said they were going to cut down shows for 2025. I'm surprised Title Match didn't say, "What if we gave you money?"
I'm just wondering how long before Brandon runs out of the Freeman Coliseum because it's getting to that point. As well as tickets are going, so just yeah.
We talked about that because he mentioned it to me a couple years ago about always dreaming of that happening, that he wants us to be in the Freeman. And I have been saying, especially with the past year RCW had, I don't see any reason why he can't do it. If not this year, then next year. I'm sorry.
At least one show. At least
just
one.
One. No, I'm saying I'm with you. I'm like, I don't see why he can't just do one mega show one RCW show to end all RCW shows out of the Freeman.
I think,
You
and
know,
I feel like you would use it as the name. RCW, the show to end all RCW shows.
And maybe when it's when
And I should get a front row seat.
if it ever comes to that point where he says this is my last event, maybe he does run it out of there. Just like says, hey, I did it. So right.
Angel,
But,
behave right off the bat. Come on.
I don't
really.
Why are we? First of all,
Are you back in school yet? Have you forgotten how to spell? Jesus.
Yeah, and first of all, my whole days are long behind me. Thank you very much.
Your whole day? I don't know about
Your
the S.
day? Jesus.
I don't know about the S on the end of that, Tommy.
That's fair.
Yeah,
It actually it was more like an hour, and it didn't really work out like I planned it. So it was just like
I don't know what you did with
in my mind though, I was pimping. Let me tell you, it just didn't happen in real life.
All right. Well, let's get this discussion started here on New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 19. Tommy, it looked like you finally got all your sleep back. I know this is the time of year when you lose sleep, and it's not just because of New Year's.
Let me tell you though. I had, because Wrestle Kingdom was Saturday morning, Wrestle Dynasty was Sunday morning. Thankfully, Wrestle Dynasty started earlier, so it ended around 2 or 3. But I had to go sing at church Sunday morning. Let me tell you, immediately after church was over, I came home, I ate, and I was out for like 3 hours.
I believe it. Most people like prep and maybe stay up a couple of nights before to get ready for New Year's. Tommy uses New Year's to get ready for Wrestle Kingdom. So.
I really do. Everyone's always like, "Yeah, we're partying." Like that. That was a joke at like literally every job I've ever had. When everyone asked for the 31st and the 1st off, I would always ask for the 4th off, and I would always get that day off because no one else was asking for it.
Yeah.
So literally every time I asked for the 4th of January off, I would always get it because every boss I ever had was like, "Why are you asking for that day?" Literally, no one else is asking for that day. I explained it to one boss, and they fell out laughing. And they were like, "You know what? That's hilarious."
Hey, whatever it takes, right?
Yeah. Very Avengers with it, whatever it takes.
All right. Well, Tommy, we'll start with you. I mean, I can sit there and say, like, just what was the most surprising results coming out of Wrestle Kingdom to you?
Ooh, that's a good question. The most surprising result. It probably had to be the fact that probably El Phantasm winning the TV title. But I had and God forgive me, I completely forgot about this. The reason he was off of New Japan for so long was because he actually had a cancer diagnosis. So he took time off to take care of that. And when he came back, he got the clean bill. I completely slipped my mind for some reason. I don't even know why I forgot about that. And God forgive me, because glad he's healthy, glad he's back. But that surprised me the most. But it was really cool to see, everything. He's another guy that's stuck with New Japan, probably despite people wanting to give him contracts elsewhere. But he's stuck with New Japan. That was probably the most shocking one. Everything else more or less happened like. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. Naito beating Takahashi also kind of surprised me. I actually thought Hiromu was going to go over in that.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mike was the only one who picked Naito. That's true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Funny thing too is that that ladder match, we all picked a different team, but the one team we didn't pick.
And the one team.
That's why we need a 4th.
I did laugh like the whole match. I was watching it, and it was like I legitimately said midway through, I have no idea who's winning this. I legitimately do not, because even when I think Fujita was the one who grabbed the belts and Robbie Eagles was watching him, I wasn't even positive then that the match was over. I was thinking someone was going to jump on the ladder like Shelton Benjamin style at the last second and like knock him off and win the match, because I was so unconvinced of the winning and losing of that match. I was like, I don't know who the freak's winning this match. I don't know.
So choosing Catch-22 was a literal Catch-22. That was a no-win for me.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
Good call.
You're welcome.
Very well done.
Mike, have you got to look at the results? Was there anything that stuck out to you, result-wise?
Yeah. What really stuck out to me was Zack Sabre Jr. beat Sota Utomo, the little Moxley kid. And I'm just kidding. I've seen the results, but I'm going to be honest. Like, there's only so much that I was really familiar with going into the show. So honestly, I know we're going to get to the numbers in a minute, but not upset with my pick record.
Yeah.
Upset that things didn't lead to Claudio eventually winning the IWGP title. So that's obviously a loss for them. There was a fail there, so
Well,
no stars probably on this one.
Well, well, you never know. The year is
mean-
young, and we'll see what could happen. I mean, honestly, I think what a brilliant move would be is if like Claudio won that, and then Shota did beat him at like next year's Wrestle Kingdom. I think that'd be amazing.
And by the
Well,
way,
it wasn't all bad. Toriano was one of the lumberjacks, so I mean, he was there.
He was hilarious. As
Yeah.
usual.
okay, half a
Yeah.
star then.
Okay. Just saying that if he's at Forbidden Door, it's easily a 5-star show. Just saying. So, you know. So, anyway, go ahead, Mike. Sorry, you were saying something.
Go ahead,
I
Mike.
don't remember. It's fine. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I've seen the results, but I haven't had a chance to watch or see much clips of it. So I'm just spitballing here.
I do want to say one sad moment that happened was Doki blowing his shoulder out during the match, which really sucked. The match was going really well. They were both firing on all cylinders. Looked like they were really building up something big for the ending. And then when he did a dive to the outside, his shoulder went out. But props to the referees. They called it. He called it immediately. As soon as he could tell he couldn't continue, they didn't wait to see. Nope. He threw up the X and called it immediately.
Yeah, so I was going to ask about that because I saw referee stoppage on it. I was like, oh shit, what happened? And
Yeah,
I don't know if it was planned or if
no, it was legit. When Doki did the dive on the outside, he landed awkwardly and his shoulder went out of place.
Wow.
They even showed him like he was able to walk out on his own, but they showed like one of the attendees holding his arm up so he didn't hang. So
you think he was supposed to win?
I honestly I want to say no because of what happened the next night. But that being said, it just sucked either way. But I think Despy was gonna win anyway. But
I think that should invalidate the choice if there's an injury. So.
Yeah. You just want to just change the result, don't you?
Yeah, no,
Take it to
definitely.
no contest. Yeah, we're a little closer. Yeah.
5 minutes.
Hey, it'll bring me to 500. It's not bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm sure Doki will come back strong, and this is just I said it online. This is one of the reasons why we love pro wrestling, man. This is the risk that these people take, man, that we got to respect them for. And unfortunately, that does happen sometimes, and unfortunately, it happens on the biggest show of the year. But he'll be back, and I'm sure when they run it back, it'll be one of the biggest moments of the year. Oh, another surprise that I was expected. I never did think it was going to happen. Was Shibata showing up?
Oh,
He showed up to save Tanahashi. Yeah.
Takeshita, I'm not going to say unified, but he has now the international championship.
No, they're not unified. They're still separate belts.
They're still separate belts, but
yeah,
I believe he made an announcement. He's like strictly New Japan now. Is that correct, or did I mix that up?
Not that I've heard.
Okay,
but
I don't know if he's strictly, but I think he basically has a contract with them too.
Okay,
so I think he's going to be going back and forth. I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to be in Japan more.
Yeah, but
I don't think it's going to be just like solitary.
Because technically he's still DDT as well. So basically he's wrestling for 3 companies. He's wrestling for AEW, New Japan, and DDT. He's technically one of the few, guys that's like he's basically the Rocky Romero except of wrestling right now. He's across like 3 different
except
companies.
like twice as big and
and Japanese.
Yeah. And honestly, with what happened at the end of Dynamite tonight, I feel like maybe they're eventually going to build to Kenny Omega versus Takeshita. I mean, Takeshita has been Don Callis' golden boy for a good while now, so maybe that's where they're going with it. Maybe it's for both championships. Maybe it's just for the international championship. Who knows? I want to see how that plays out.
And like I had said for years, when everyone said push Takeshita, I was like, well, y'all let these people cook and get it and get. And I said, if you would wait, they're going to get him there, and they did. I was right. So suck it, internet. I knew what I was talking about. So,
all right,
1 for 10. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, on pick results, I went 4-5, Mike 5-4, and Tommy 6-3. Just kind of went up the line there on which ones we got correct as well.
The funny part of this, the things I got wrong, I was like legitimately surprised on what I got wrong about. I was like, it was literally like, oh, okay, but yeah. So,
well, Tommy, you're the only one that watched. What is your rating? 0 to 5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being as member. What are you rating for Wrestle Kingdom?
Wrestle Kingdom, I give it this year a 4.5.
Oh, breaking the streak.
Breaking the streak this year.
Okay.
Only because
Toriano wasn't in a match.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I said last night on my stream. It wasn't a bad show. It just I felt like there was something extra missing. Not quite sure what it was, but it just take it to the 5. But
Okay.
but yeah. So like a 4.5. But this is also what I said. It's like out of all the years I've watched Wrestle Kingdom, this is the only time I've given it a 4.5. That's got to count for something.
Yeah, true. All right. Speaking of that, you did mention Dynasty. That happened the next night. This one wasn't that heavily promoted, especially with AEW talent. Now, Mike, you shared in our, I think it was you or Tommy that shared in our group chat something about,
Tommy.
that AEW can't really promote this because of their deal with Max.
They couldn't, but they did bring it up today, though. Like to go back
since it's already happened, right?
Yeah. So,
but they can't really promote it on the way there because New Japan World is technically a competing streaming service with Max.
Might be able to fix that in the future. We'll see.
I mean, I you have to, because like that kind of defeats the purpose. Like, I know people have talked about AEW like always promoting at the last second and putting the matches together sometimes, but like literally, if you can't even talk about it because you're streaming on Max, I feel like that honestly defeats the purpose of putting on a show.
Yeah, it's just it's just weird. It sucks. So it's but I feel like, because people had no idea, like freaking the Young Bucks are the IWGP Tag Team Champions now.
Which actually surprised me. I actually didn't think that was going to happen. I was surprised. Hey, Bernsey, what's up?
Yeah, I was really hoping. Obviously, I think Mike and I were both hoping for United Empire to get that. Great O'Connor, Jeff Cobb to claim those.
I was really just hoping for not the Young Bucks.
You know what's funny? For how they left New Japan, how everyone was supposedly mad at them, they were cheered pretty decently in that building. Like they got a lot of cheers.
They poured in the cheers just like they took away the boos on Monday night. It was a crowd noise entered.
And any edits that they push in afterward as well. So
look, the way they were booing Shota Umino, sorry, but that completely defeats the purpose. Defeats what you just said.
That's
I do have to ask how Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ricochet was on Wrestle Dynasty.
It was as good as you think, but it did have the interesting caveat of Ricochet being the heel and actually getting boos in the Tokyo Dome, which was very interesting. He started off like diving on Zack first. That's how he started the match. So he was, fired the first shot. He got the boos immediately. It was interesting. I don't know, because I don't.
So he started with the Zack attack. That's a deep cut. If you know, you know.
Anyway, moving on. Digressing. Right. It was really good. It was a clash of styles, but Ricochet for the flips that he did do flips, of course. He really did have like a lot of strikes and everything in there. I guess to really sell the he can do more than flip, which of course he always could, but no one ever admitted that, and B, sell the heel part of his character because he did do a lot of stuff like that. But it turned out really good. Zack had a stellar weekend, man.
Yeah,
2 back-to-back main event matches in the Tokyo Dome for a foreigner, and he kept and he's the only guy in Wrestle Kingdom history, foreigner especially, who walked in with the championship and walked out with it. And I think he's the only guy who's ever done it both nights.
Amazing.
Nice.
So yeah.
Kenny Omega made his return, and then returned.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Look. I just so you know, I also give Wrestle Dynasty a 4.5. But if we're going off of that match alone, that match was a 5, bro. Gabe Kidd made a believer out of me, dude. I always thought he was good. I wasn't sure if he was Kenny Omega level. I was proven wrong, dude. He held his own against Omega, bro, and he made a believer out of me. That dude's a future world champion everywhere he goes, and he absolutely earned it. Nice. Omega got the win, but damn it if he didn't have to work for that, because Gabe Kidd freaking brought the fight, bro. I was wildly impressed.
He was selling it a bit on Dynamite tonight too. Had the bandage, the scars, and everything.
Dude, they went to war, dude.
Yeah, it looked like it because Kenny looked pretty beat up.
They used chairs and the tables that actually did break.
Yeah,
non-Japanese tables, nice.
Yeah.
They did set up for next week's time, by the way, Omega versus Brian Cage, based on what happened at the end of Dynamite. So that should be a fun night.
But Also, two sleeper hits from the weekend. Actually, three. One was the Iwatani Azami Azia match. That was really good. Takeshita and Shingo was fire. Shingo and Ishii was also really good. But David Finlay and Brody King was better than you would think it would be on paper. It was a really solid match.
I don't know, bro. I mean, I haven't seen Finley as much, but Brody King is so underrated.
Well, no, he is. But when you put those two together, you're not sure how that would look on paper. Those two had a great match.
Ooh, Burnsy's got a.
Oh, Burnsley, which match?
I'm assuming he means the Omega one, but
probably the Omega one. Yeah,
I'm assuming, based on the delay we get.
Sorry, we're getting a delay on the comments here, but yeah,
of course.
But no, it was yeah, but he's right. It was a clinic. I really think that's one of the matches people should start watching. If they just because Kenny Omega came back like he never lost a day. You know, after being out for over a year, it looked like he hadn't been gone at all. That's how good the match was. It looked like Wrestle Kingdom Kenny Omega. That's what it looked like.
Trying to see the results. Mercedes Moné now owns the Strong Women's Championship and the Undisputed British Women's Championship to go along with her.
That match was good too.
Still the TBS Championship, right?
So TBS champion.
Just saying, Casey, if you're watching, she has 4 belts now. You only have 3.
Boy,
gotta pick it up there, buddy.
Yeah.
Gotta get in a belt.
Casey versus Monet. I mean, let's true belt keeper. Let's do it.
May have happened. If you remember,
yeah,
before she returned to AEW, she spent some time training at Hybrid.
Yeah, because Marvel never tells me anything. No, I'm kidding.
Right, and after everything happened, they were finally allowed to release some of those photos, and he was there with a handful of them.
Maybe they got to work a bit on that. Yeah, who knows?
So maybe it was like Rocky and Apollo, like in the
that's a good reference
in the gym, but not in the big arena. Just
we're not going to find out till 20 years later that Apollo did win that fight, as revealed in Creed. Yeah. So. Oh my god.
Yeah, Brendan was talking about the kitty man.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Let's move from Japan to the States. Starting with what happened on Monday on the West Coast. It was LA in the Intuit Dome, which I will say is an impressive arena as it is.
Yeah.
The new Clippers owner, he built something amazing. I appreciate seeing that for NBA, but it was interesting to see how that would translate to a WWE side of things. And dare I say, it's got a better look than the Staples Center, at least on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as Netflix goes, any buffering issues?
No.
We're good?
Actually, no.
Hey, the NFL fixed everything, I guess, because they didn't have any issues on Christmas. But your thoughts on seemingly like a whole new presentation for Raw? Quick thoughts on it, just from the look. Obviously, it's Netflix, but the way they changed, the referee look, the ring itself. What do you guys think about how it's set up now?
The ring mat they stole from New Japan. The ring mat idea. So
okay.
Having all the sponsors on the ring mat, that's a New Japan thing that they've been doing for the past 10, 15 years, and 100% again. Oh, New Japan's a good idea. Let's just pluck that right there.
WWE started jumping sponsors in on that for the better part of the last year.
But before it was just the Prime logo on the mat was still the same color. Now they have just littered with that. I was like, that's a New Japan ring.
I don't know if that's gonna stick around. Mike, what about you?
So I think overall the thing, it was like a big spectacle, and it did seem like a new person. The thing is that what we're gonna get every Monday out of Raw?
That's a good question.
Because for what it's worth, and I'll give all the specifics later and throw some stuff out on socials. Last night I was invited to be on an audio podcast for the Pop Break Network with our friend Amanda from the local wrestling shows, and it's a socially distanced podcast. It's audio only, and we're basically talking about the first night of Raw. And one of the big themes that came up is it was a huge spectacle. They brought out a bunch of stars, a bunch of names, but then what's going to happen next week? Most of those guys, including guys like Roman, may not be there next week. Basically, they've already previewed, even though it's supposed to be a surprise, that it's going to be Penta versus Chad, which is an amazing match.
Yeah.
But are you going to get casuals to stay for that? And that's just what I think. This felt like a pay-per-view, which is kind of cool. But how soon, are they going to have to keep this up every Monday? Or is it just going to soon get into to Monday Night Raw? We'll check out the results. Can't stay for all 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see Travis Scott smoking weed live on TV.
Jesus
every week
Christ.
on Netflix.
Hilarious.
I
Okay,
mean, look, for one, it's LA, two, it's Netflix, right? I mean, what can you get away with on Netflix?
Yeah.
We're learning.
here's the thing. That's not even the worst part of what he did, because he
No.
didn't do anything.
Mhm.
I thought he was rapping Jay out to the ring, and his mouth wasn't moving the entire time.
Ha!
And then there's one point, if you're going to come out with Jey Uso right now in his career, there was one point to what you need to do, and that's the arm movement and the yeets.
Yes.
And he didn't do any of that. He came down trying to look badass and trying to look super cool. Jay was doing his thing, and he was there, and I think like once he threw up one arm. Pointless. No point to Travis Scott being there. Useless.
Even Michael Cole did the eats this time.
Dude, Michael
on the
Cole-
table.
Michael Cole on the desk.
Ah, yeah,
Yes.
he was on the announce table.
Yeah.
Joined Pat McAfee on it. It was
That dude
great.
had no
you know?
shame.
Yes.
I think Cole's just happy to be calling with McAfee again. I think they're like legit friends at this point.
He is, and I know McAfee's going to have to miss the show on the 20th for sure because he's going to be sidelined for the national championship game for ESPN, obviously, because he does the ESPN 2 broadcast. McAfee's going to be busy. I mean, he's going to be sidelined doing ESPN 2 broadcast for the Orange Bowl tomorrow. Friday, he's going to be in Dallas for that. Monday, back to Netflix. Back to Raw on Netflix for that. He's going to miss the 20th, obviously. Hell, they even put McAfee on the freaking truck. McAfee shared that on his Twitter and everything. So,
His checks must be nice.
yeah.
Is this a reference I missed? Is this what Taylor?
That's
what's
the
his name?
song that they play when Travis Scott came out.
Oh,
Like
okay.
literally, like he showed up. They played maybe like 20 seconds of it, and then switched to Jey Uso's music. But yeah, that entrance, like, it was okay. I'm gonna say this: it was a night of long entrances.
Hey, Chuck, I gotta.
I believe it.
Send video next time.
Yeah.
It was
Actually, any of you guys, y'all want to eat for Jay on a Monday night? Send video.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a night of long ring entrances.
Yeah.
Because for everything that Jey Uso usually does in his entrance, that was the longest I've seen it. Because usually he's making his way to the ring, then he does the whole yeet thing. I thought he was really trying to get Travis Scott, but Travis Scott was just chilling, you know. Yeah. So obviously the Bloodline thing opening the show was nice. I don't personally like the black ring apron because I feel like it's, I don't know, it just, for some of the, maybe it's just my visual thing, for some of the gear that a lot of wrestlers wear, it's just kind of like, especially if they have black in their gear, they just kind of disappear into the ring from a visual standpoint, right?
Strategy though.
Yeah, right. The referee outfits, I don't mind. Cool, nice look
they
and
look pretty
everything.
professional.
Yeah, they look real professional with that too. That was pretty cool.
I like that.
But yeah, I mean, the trick is going to be, like you said, Mike, how are they going to go week to week? The matches themselves, nothing like majorly spectacular. You know, obviously some of the lineup was like pay-per-view feel.
Well, it definitely
Rhea
wasn't
Ripley
because
finally.
they only had 4 matches on the card. So that
I
was
know.
gonna say, we talked
For a
about this
3-hour
too,
show, 4 matches, right? You know,
because you always say how like the 5-match pay-per-views aren't. They need one more. This was 4.
Yeah, and that first one took like what 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, so
I have a challenge for WWE.
Oh god.
okay.
Have a bloodline related match that does not require 17 people to interfere in the match at some point. Like I get WrestleMania, but it's every match now. Like they can't do a match if, like, I feel like if Roman had just pinned Solo, people would have been like, "Wait, what? That's it?"
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say that's like 97 NWO not having at least 4 people run in during the match. That doesn't make any sense anymore, Mike.
And then it was funny to me how in the intro, The Rock is saying nice stuff about everything, says something nice to Cody, who's on this side of the crowd. And then during the first match of the night, Cody is suddenly running in from the entrance to get.
Okay. I was the one who thought that was weird. Okay, cool. I was like, I got confused. I was like, Cody sitting in the?
He's still hurt. I guess he's feeling okay, but I mean, they're apparently going to fight at the Rumble, right? Did they make that announcement? Yeah,
ladder match.
Okay, yeah. So,
also,
Punk Rollins. I don't obviously I don't think this is the last we're going to see of that. That was a hell of a match, but I feel
it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I thought the match was good, but I think I expected more out of the 2 of them.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No,
Maybe I'm being cynical or something. I don't know. It feels like they could have done way better. I feel like for the 2 of them, the caliber that they're at, that wasn't bad by any means. It was not a bad match. It wasn't, and they weren't bad. It's just like I feel like they were holding back. If that makes any sense.
Well,
Because I'm sure they're working towards something. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Frank.
fair.
Yeah. Well, no, like this was a take I heard from a few people last night. They felt like Rollins was wrestling down to Punk and having to slow down for Punk because he couldn't go as much as he has in the past, that he just wasn't able to reach that gear that Rollins had. And I was thinking about it because I was really looking forward to that match and I liked what it did, but after they kind of said that, I was like, maybe that's kind of true because Rollins goes pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like he and like Punk was pretty good against McIntyre, but that's a slow fight. Like I found that take kind of interesting. I was like, maybe they're right. Because like I've talked about this before. I think Rollins, if he was allowed to be outside of the WWE, could go with any of the top guys like Danielson, Omega,
for sure.
Ibushi, Okada. I think he could kill it with all those guys, and he just doesn't quite get that recognition because he's in the WWE setting. But
I think he doesn't get that recognition from the toxic fans. I know for a fact other wrestlers 100% agree with you. Like I've seen so many interviews where wrestlers say, "Oh, I wish I could wrestle Seth Rollins." Like so many guys would say that over and over again. Man, I wish I could wrestle Seth Rollins.
Okay, two things here.
Okay.
Yes.
God, that was so worth it.
And then also, Sean, what
Riptide.
taunt was you talking about? I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember
what he did after the match. I did see a clip where apparently he did go talk to what's his name, Kieran Culkin.
Yep.
And was like, "Hey, did you win an award last night?" He's like, "Yeah, I won a Golden Globe. Let's celebrate." And then Punk was like, "I won too." He's like, "Yeah, I saw because I'm at ringside." I just thought that was kind of funny. Like,
I will give Punk credit for one thing. He did shout out Chris Bay after that match.
Oh, I heard about that too. Yeah,
and I'll give him credit for that. That was pretty nice of him. So I'll give him credit for
Yeah,
that.
I feel like for sure they have a. Oh snap! Oh my god! Never mind. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. It's my wife sent me something hilarious.
Okay.
I feel like they have that section there, like, hey, we might have a random celebrity here, so when you win, we just want to get that viral moment between, that's because it was WWE official, right? But I did love the celebrities in the crowd was pretty cool. Macaulay Culkin, you get flashbacks. He's been in like every wrestling show.
Yeah.
But Danielle Fishel is right there, still as beautiful as ever.
Yeah.
And one of her Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World co-stars, Will Friedle's there too. We're just gonna put Danielle's name up there, but we're not gonna worry about this guy.
That was messed up. I was like,
that was so messed up.
It was Terry McGinnis, damn it! It was Terry McGinnis and Batman Beyond. How dare you?
I'm watching it too. She's like, she loves Will Friedle. I was like, no love for Will. I was like, no, it's all about Topanga. You know this, babe.
Yeah.
So that said, shout out Brandon Oliver, dude. Him and I think all of us from that generation share that love for Topanga so much.
Oh yeah,
and he's trying like hell to get her to San Antonio. What is it?
Can you see it?
Oh, I said take that.
I'm sorry. I read that.
You love it, Burns.
Yeah.
But no, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If Brandon does the last RCW show ever, then that show better have Topanga as a guest, whatever, just there.
Ryder Strong, just bring them all.
Let me say this for the record, as someone who frequents cons and got to meet her that one time a year or so ago, breathtaking in person. Oh yeah. My God! Like the phrase "risk it all" is right there. It's just like I'm in trouble.
And speaking of that, and Mr. Oliver, if you're taking request, Vanessa Hudgens, we're down with that too. What?
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm talking about celebrities, not like people that wrestle at the show.
I don't care.
Kristen Krug, I would love that.
Well, yeah, but she has. I mean, I haven't seen her at wrestling shows. I'm just talking about the people that were at Raw. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's fun.
I know.
By the way, JC, I've been rewatching Smallville since New Year's, so kind of funny to go back through this.
Yeah, I'm following along with the Talkville podcast. So, for those that don't know, that's Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling episode, and they just wrapped up season 5, about to start season 6. So they're.
I need Michael Rosenbaum to after this do podcast about him doing the voices and him doing
Okay.
the Flash Justice League.
Angel, I'm not going to put up the one comment, but how old are you? How is Topanga your childhood?
Girl Meets World, probably
Yeah,
because
probably
she was
it has
the
to
mom
be
of
Girl Meets World.
It has to be
I
Girl Meets
guess.
World. You are too
unless
young
you
to know
unless you rewatched reruns of Boy
That's
Meets
true. There
World,
were a lot of reruns
there
of
were a
Boy
lot
Meets
of-
World
I
for
mean,
a
there were
while.
flashbacks in Girl Meets World too, which by the way,
Mm.
yes, I did. We did watch Girl Meets World too. Great show.
I did
no,
too, but
Yeah,
I did too.
yeah.
it
Sorry,
could have
Mike,
been
go ahead.
so much more. No, I was just saying it could have been so much more toward
Yeah,
the end.
it could have.
We kind of
Could have,
fumbled
but
it.
you know, Disney Channel, that shit doesn't last very long.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
yeah, you know.
They really could have done more. But I will give Girl Meets World this to segue completely off of what we were talking about originally in this show. I will give them credit for this. There was a lot of topics that they did touch on that would have felt straight out of like original Boy Meets World that I respected the heck out of how they did. Like the bullying episode was one of my favorites. Girl Meets World that I was like, that's a very good way to handle that.
Although, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there one episode where what was Mikas's kid's name? Anyways, where they thought he was autistic and they were basically making it sound like he had like a disease if he was. I feel like I remember watching that going, that's the weird way to approach it. I may be misremembering, but I feel like I remember.
No, I didn't think they first like he had a disease. Farkle, thank you.
Yes.
Farkle, there you go.
Because I love they said your name when they revealed he was Minkus' son. They said your name is Farkle
Minkus.
And then Minkus married the big scary girl from the one Valentine's episode.
Yeah,
right?
And honestly, and when I saw that, I was like, "Bro, I can't say I blame you."
Yeah, no, that was also a great callback.
Yeah, see, shit.
Yeah, okay, there was something like that, right? I kind of remember this as one of the few episodes where I was like, that doesn't seem like the right approach to it, but okay. But anyways, yeah.
I felt like that was kind of one point of the episode was to approach it that way. But anyway, I want to rewatch Girl Meets World.
Anyways, back to the WrestleCast.
Yeah, back to the wrestling man stuff. Okay.
Well, Raw on Netflix. I mean, it's got mixed reviews online. Obviously, the thing that everyone is talking about that is standing out the most is the Boo Birds. Netflix even putting it up.
Crowd
Why
booing.
does everybody hate Jimmy Hart? I don't fucking get it. I don't understand this. What's going on? No, obviously, you brought Hulk Hogan out to promote his beer and booze, and he's trying to spin it, kayfabe that it was Jimmy Hart. Reality that reports are that he expected it because it was related to his political views. Shut the fuck up. You're a racist asshole, dude. Okay? If people had issues with your political views, there's a lot of people on that roster that would have been booed.
Undertaker
Yeah,
I was it was about your political views, dude.
Yes. Okay. It's how fucked in the head you are, really. So it just sucks that Jimmy Hart had to be a part of that because everybody loves Jimmy.
Well, see, here's the thing. I hate that people online also are like trying to spin it like, oh, it's because he voted for Trump. No, we don't give a freaking crap about that shit. We give a crap that he was racist as fuck and didn't actually apologize for it. He just said, it was people. No, you asshole. You were being a racist.
Well, let's clarify. We do care a little bit, but that's like the pebble at the end of the rock. Avalanche that has been the trash human being that was or has been Hulk Hogan.
To me, people with different political views from me, especially when it comes to the dude who's about to be president. I just feel like
what? Let me rephrase this. No, you're right, but you know what? Let me rephrase this. It's already knowing it was a trash human being that made that political choice. I think that you're right. That's
and see, my thing is, I have really close friends who I know and love who voted for our.
Yeah. I just saw
Mikkus.
Yes, go watch Girl Meets World. He did.
Bernsey, actually watch Girl Meets World. It actually really was a pretty good show for the short run it had. It's actually a pretty decent show.
Hey, don't crap on Minkus. Also, Mouth from One Tree Hill. That dude got some girls.
No, but I mean, of all the people you could have brought, you had to know fans are going to react this way, especially in California.
Yeah.
Know your audience in that, and that was just such a dumb thing. For them to do, and I know Hogan was trying to get through his speech quickly.
Yeah,
but of all the beers you could have promoted, seriously,
yeah, and I do love how people really keep trying to say it's the political angle when the Undertaker was there not even an hour later and got cheered out the building. Like seriously, like.
Okay, can I say one thing about the Undertaker thing?
What's up?
What's that?
If you're gonna have him show up for Rhea Ripley, why would he not be the Phenom Undertaker, which would be more in line with Gothic Rhea Ripley than the American Badass, when she's from Australia. That's the only thing that I was going to be like, wouldn't it make more sense for him to be like spooky Undertaker with her than American? Maybe because he didn't want to walk around the ring, I guess. So
that could have been it, or also because of the rocker chick kind of thing,
I was gonna say that it's twofold for me. I think,
but
one,
American badass.
But it's twofold.
I know.
One, it's because I think he just doesn't want to do the dead man gimmick anymore.
Well, that's probably true.
And two, it's because if she was still in Judgment Day proper, I think he would have. But since she broke off from Judgment Day and has been more, like you said, rocker, heavy metal chick now, that's why.
Yeah, I still think it would have made more sense for there to be.
I was waiting for her to jump on the back of the motorcycle.
Yeah, like give her a ride, bro. Come on.
And then have like Buddy Murphy tweet out, well, guess I'm single now. I can't compete with that.
And then his wife is in the crowd too. Michelle McCool's sitting there too. And yeah. Oh Jesus.
Damien's never going to escape that nickname.
No,
he's not. He's not.
Do you think he cares though? Probably not.
Yeah.
No, I think at this point he just finds it hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm positive he does, because ever since that commercial where he did like working for these people who have sheep and own a brewery. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video in like Scotland or somewhere like that. It's
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
I'll find it and send it to you guys. He's staying with this family. He's learning how to herd sheep and to work at a brewery. And like ever since then, I was like, he's got a sense of humor, and I love it. So
I think you can tell. Yeah. No, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it and send it to you guys.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Raw. Honestly, if you were to like look back at all the Raws where they have like these major things like anniversaries or 1000th episodes or whatever, this one was kind of a bit lackluster to me. Honestly, it wasn't like super spectacular.
Thank you.
So yeah, but we'll see what they do going forward. Great. You're getting this money. You're on a streaming service. Now, where do you go to next, right? So, but this is also a chance for SmackDown NXT to shine. Brewery Suite. Nice.
What is up, Josh?
What's up, Josh?
Good to see you, man.
Hey, what's up?
That's from the brewery pub down in Lytle.
Yeah. Didn't watch NXT, but I did see a couple results. First of all, we do have a new NXT champion.
I missed that last night. Apparently, both titles changed.
Yes, Obafemi is now the NXT champion, and Julia defeated Roxanne Perez to end her reign as the NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Guys, are we going to see Roxanne Perez make a move to either Raw or SmackDown before the Royal Rumble?
Why would she possibly do it?
Whoa.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's something sounded weird to me, but go ahead.
Sorry, I was like maybe, but only if like they like set up for her to like take out someone and then start a feud before or after the Rumble. But I feel like she might debut at the Rumble and go from there.
I feel like it makes more sense for her to show up in the Rumble and then continue on to the main roster from there.
Especially if she gets like a Final Four finish or something like that too.
Potentially, or even just kind of.
I don't see why she wouldn't. And honestly, if she enters, I almost want to make a case for her winning.
Yeah. And funny enough, I was obviously coaching my daughter's team last night, and one of the teams we're coaching, him and I are always talking wrestling whenever we get together. And his first question this time of year is always, who do you think's winning the Rumble? I said, men's, I don't know, but women, I really hope it's Raquel. But then I telling Tina that, she's thinking it's probably going to be Charlotte returning, and I'm like, oh, I hope not.
Because Charlotte won the Rumble.
I'm pretty
sure they all have, haven't they?
I think so.
Yeah, but Raquel, I don't think Raquel has yet. And
no, Raquel
with Rhea Ripley now the champion, that's like a dream match you kind of want to see for the championship, at least for me. Jason says rematch with Julia.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wouldn't be a horrible idea either.
I could probably see.
I mean, that keeps her in NXT, but
that would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah.
But on the men's side of things, it's hard to call, and that's kind of cool because for so many years you're like, well, we know this person's gonna win. This person's gonna win the Rumble. Now we don't know, and it's hard to predict that. So
this is a popular prediction.
I'm pretty sure that will happen.
I've heard that a couple times.
Who do you want to win?
Jey Uso.
Yeah. You're right. It does feel like there's a lot of possibilities depending on what they want to do.
Or depending on how they move Damian Priest nowadays, he could possibly win it.
Yeah, because our current champions are Gunther, Cody Rhodes. How do they
Oh,
set that up?
you mean Gunther, the Raw champion, who was just in the crowd also during
Oh
Monday
my
Night Raw?
God!
No,
I
what
didn't even
the hell?
realize he wasn't on the show.
Yeah.
Why isn't your champion on the
Oh
show?
my God!
Like,
that
not-
just occurred to me.
Not
Yeah.
even a promo, not like starting the show as like, "Welcome to Raw, I am your champion."
Just
You
a
must
tape
get-
promo towards the end of the show. Yeah, that's it. So
Okay, you know
But-
what? I'm sorry. My rating of Raw just went down. It really
Oh
did.
yeah,
Because I
they
completely
did do
forgot
a video package for him later, but that's all he got.
Nah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. The ratings got to drop now. You didn't have your champion wrestle on the show.
Yeah.
I'm
But you
sorry.
know, The Rock had to show up and bring his fake belt and talk
I'm not even
about.
mad The Rock was there as much as I am as Hulk Hogan was. So.
Oh yeah, well I mean,
Io
yeah,
for
but
the
still.
Rumble win, Charlotte to win the Chamber.
Oh, Jason,
Good.
nice, nice.
That could be cool. Angel, hey, Hot Topic, still keeping with the trend. They got a Joe Hendry shirt. I need to get the Hot Topic now.
So I know you had mentioned this. Is it
Sorry,
TNA? I assume, or is it NX? I assume it's a TNA shirt.
That's I would assume I would assume
I think-
TNA. They have the merch rights. I would think.
Dom versus Logan would be fun.
That would be, and I think that would be a sleeper hit.
And
You know,
Dom would get cheered.
Yeah, he really probably would actually.
You know, I don't know. I feel like people would leave the arena because they just don't care. But you know,
Oh no! I feel like people would stay to cheer Dom beating Logan. I'm not even kidding with
they
you.
both have nuclear. It's gonna be a battle of who is hated the worst. Dude, you
the
just
ref,
wanna get
like the ref, just gets cheered in the middle. Of...
yeah, just randomly. You know.
Yeah,
wow.
this Jason. This is literally what we were just saying, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and you guys are right. Charlotte did win the Women's Rumble in 2020. I completely forgot.
Yeah, so she's won it. Bailey's won it. Becky's won it.
Becky's won it.
I think Sasha, because she left, is the only one who hadn't from the.
Yeah, Sasha never won it.
Yeah.
yeah. So Angel, it said
Pro Wrestling Tees. That makes sense.
So that would be, I think, use Pro Wrestling Tees, right? Yeah. So, or at least they allow their
their talent to do
use
so.
it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Makes
All right.
sense.
All right. Well, we'll see how Netflix handles this going forward. See if there's any crashes. Who knows? Obviously, they are making major announcements for like future shows. I think when did they say they were going to Madison Square Garden? March or February? I can't remember.
27. Oh, was
it
that
later
the
this month?
January 27th, or was that later in the year?
I can't.
Someone's showing up at a January 27th show. Well, no, I think that's in Georgia because I think that's supposed to be Goldberg showing up again, which might do something with Gunther.
Yeah. And then it's hard to believe we're a few weeks away from Saturday Night Main Event. In
I was just going to say.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep. All right. On to what is happening this weekend, and that is the hybrid experience.
Sean, that's like the crowd. You guys can hear anybody talk.
That could work.
It could.
The new Judgment Day.
Like if you were to not be able to hear anybody say anything in an arena, put those two together.
Look,
and then they just keep running out of time too on their segments as well, which is great.
I love that they do that to them.
The storyline became gold the second Kofi's mom walked out.
That was pretty.
Look, and I was like, that was absolutely an African mother disappointed in her son. Like, I can't even look at you. I'm just leaving.
And I'm just gonna say this: Gabriel Iglesias and Otis is the tag team I never thought I needed. But
Yo!
So I need to
go
watch
Natural
that
Disasters
special, by the way.
Revisited.
Yes, for sure.
The Alpha Academy.
Oh man, who knows?
Called the Fluffy Academy.
All right.
All these good ideas that didn't happen on Raw.
I know. Presented by DDP Yoga, right?
Oh my God, yes. Actually,
yes.
that's actually a fantastic idea.
Now
we're getting there. Hold on.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Hybrid experience is taking place this weekend. Mike, you got the matches in front of you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to run through them real quick or give us like what's really standing out to you that's going to
Well,
be
no, we'll run through them. I want to give all of them their due. So we do have some. Okay, I want to say they're new to hybrid. They may have been there before. I know one of them at least has been there before, but not a regular. So we'll start with Jay Richards has a match against Alexander Crowley. Now, usually we expect Crowley to kill people, which he's pretty good at. Although, like we said at the last show, Armani Sage had a pretty good match with him. We thought he was going to get killed pretty quickly. We thought he was going to basically get squashed, but he did pretty well for himself. A team that's quickly becoming a fan favorite at Hybrid, Dead Man's Hand, which is Jesse James, Eric Walker, And normally Jay Young, but this graphic has Freak Show. So I don't know if Freak Show is going to finally step into the ring this weekend. But they're taking on the heel trio of Rilo the Riot King, so I guess he's in heel mode this time, Armani Sage, and Jet Black. So I think we definitely know what we're going to be cheering for all the way there. We'll get to that in a second. Houston Hendricks, who has been at Hybrid at least once, I think, before, facing the Flaimo King, Brandon Weiss. It's not a phase.
I thought that's specifically why he's still doing this gimmick. I thought that's specifically the reason why he's still doing it, to prove it's not a fake.
New Year to me.
I also just want to throw this out real quick. The people on the podcast last night, literally right as soon as Amanda gets on, they make fun of her for her videoing at ringside, and apparently they always make fun of her for zooming in on Brandon's ass when they're, which we do too. And I was like, hey. Because, they're not actually from here, so they just talk to her and online. I was like, hey, as someone who sits behind her regularly, it's all true.
It is. It is. 100%.
Facebook stories. Yep.
There you go. Let's see what else. We got a tag team match of Most Wanted, who I'm not that familiar with, but taking on another fan favorite team of Vintage Danny Vintage and Animal. So that should be fun because those are two. Throw them up. Those are two of Hybrid favorites.
Yep.
What else do we got? We got an interesting women's triple threat with Celine Hysteria, who made a choice last time, and so now she's back on the naughty list, versus Key Vibes versus Ridley Thorne. So what you're going to see Saturday is me with my new Metal Vibes Never Die shirt, holding up my Ride with Ridley sign, booing Celine. That's pretty much how that match is going to work out.
Sure, it's going to be a 2-on-1 at some point. Yeah, for the most part.
They will, and then of course they're going to.
I have a big side that'll make North matches. Everyone but Celine.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Also,
this
making
one,
North mad is funny.
Yeah. There's a 6-man tag match, and this happened at United, so I assume it crosses the Texas multiverse. The Texas Kingdom of Stash and Rob Love had added Jesse Funaki and Ridley Thorne to them. They're part of the Kingdom now, so it is Stash, Rob Love, and Jesse Funaki versus the Texas Treats, which seems to be the trio of Don Juan, Diego, and David Teen. So hopefully that will be just them beating the hell out of each other.
That might be a show stealer, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. So
the brand new Jess Swanham at the last show didn't have the belts before that, only at the last show, tag team champs of the Powerhouse Syndicate of K-Jax and Hit, defending them against former champs Living in Fashion. Not the champs that they beat them for, but they have been previously Hybrid Tag champs.
Why does K-Jax look like Farouk in this picture?
Because his gear is kind of
Farouk-ish.
like that.
Nation of Domination and shit here. Okay.
For the record, I'm never talking to K-Jax in a normal setting ever again. And because I don't want to get canceled, I can't bring up what we talked about last time I talked to him. But I'm never talking to
that
K-Jax
was one of the greatest after show things I'd ever heard, and I can't say anything about it. So
yeah, well, I'll put it this way: it involves subjects that only me and him could talk about in an open forum, and it makes everyone else extremely uncomfortable. And therefore, I'm never talking to K-Jax.
And then he went way overboard with it.
It doesn't make me uncomfortable. I'm just not going to be able to add much to the conversation. That's all. So
Also, Angel, why are you always trying to feel bad for the evil? You're trying to feel bad for Callie. Now you're trying to feel bad for Celine. No need for that. They made choices.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure why you've been in her shoes specifically, but okay.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of your BFF reunion, and this is actually a rematch from Ladies Night Out at the, I think it was a couple months ago. Izzy defended the Mission Pro champion. Izzy Moreno against Carolina Cruz. It doesn't make it seem like the Mission Pro title is on the line, but they had that match in December or November. I forget when, at a Ladies Night Out on title match. So this is kind of the rematch between this.
Actually, it was in December.
December, okay.
Early December.
Early, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like December 1st.
Yeah, so that's 8 matches. The final match, I assume, is the title match. Because apparently...
Countdown. I'm kidding.
Apparently, Casey Blackrose has just decided that he's going to take on all top contenders if it kills him, and it might one day. But
I was
we'll
gonna
see what happens.
say, I'll fight him all if it kills
So
me, and
we
if
don't know
it
if this will
does,
be that day. Yeah. So yeah.
Jason.
Well, that's why we said we couldn't say much, Jason. But thanks for saying it out loud. Casey Blackrose defends the belt against recently in Japan, the crown jewel of the Bullet Club, Chase Owens, which is interesting because Chase was most recently at Hybrid Face as he teamed with the Mortons and the Funakis against the Treats. So it'd be interesting to see if he kind of reverts back to his old heelish ways, or he's still kind of face, but he's still Chase Owens. So, that'd be interesting to see how that match plays out.
Yeah.
So,
Angel, I'm gonna really need you to get some better friends, like yesterday. Like seriously. Because damn.
oh, so the two of you, we need to put you in like a self-esteem class.
Yeah.
And make you have more like self-confidence and
seriously.
Like,
yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Wow.
Yeah. So hybrid show this.
Yeah.
If you want to go ahead with the deets.
Sure. Saturday, January 11th. Hybrid Experiences, New Year, New Hybrid Experiences 2. Dos. Starting at 7 p.m. Central Time, doors opening at 6. It'll be at the Hybrid School of Wrestling on Eckert Road in San Antonio. I'm going to try and make it out there. One of my assistant coaches is military, and he got me tickets to the Navy All-American Bowl and the San Antonio
nice.
All-Star game. So we're going to be checking that out. I'm maybe seeing 2 high school football games, All-Stars. We'll see how it goes. So, yeah. But I'm definitely going to try and make it out there. I'm going to say this. Any card with Izzy Moreno on it that you get a chance to go. Because I have a weird feeling we're not going to see Izzy for the full year in San Antonio. There's a very good chance, I'm thinking by summer, she may be signed. So just keeping that in your mind right now.
It would not shock me in the least bit.
Yes. So Adi definitely wants to try and catch as much shows as he can. So I'm going to try and see if we can make this one even if we're late. So, but yeah, definitely. And
never stop me. No.
Yeah.
No, well, okay, but they're not going to delay the start of the show for JC, unlike you.
They don't delay shows for me.
Jason, we've seen it. They don't start at all. Tommy's here. Let's get hybrid started.
They got your phone tracked. Okay, he's about 10 minutes away. Let's get it going. So, it's just...
First of all, if Marvel has my phone tracked,
I believe he does.
We need to have a long conversation about.
We know why he has your phone tracked. We've heard. Yes. So
okay, Mike, that didn't help at all, and I actually hate you right now because
I know. I'm sorry.
Damn it!
I'm sorry.
Oh right. Oh.
Also,
ahead,
I do want to point out one other thing. Last week when we did our year-end awards,
how did the award become a big?
And maybe because it was the break and I was feeling generous and I was in a good mood, I tried to give compliments to Callie as potentially one of the local female wrestlers of the year.
Yes.
Then, if you notice, no women's title match at the show. And if you look back, since she's won the title, I feel like she's either defended it once or hasn't defended it since she's won it. And she's missed several hybrid shows for other bookings. So I know we had this discussion back in RCW with Alejandra about her being gone and how, you can't do that. But I don't know if you're going to be the hybrids women champ. I feel like you should be at hybrid shows. So I'm going to retroactively go ahead and put Alejandra as my local woman of the year. I'm sorry for doubting her.
This is part of your 1 minute warning.
No, this is just a little thing. I got another one.
It's a comic book retcon, is what it is.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Mike. Well, you said you have one. You ready to go?
Oh yeah, we're getting 1 minute warning now.
Yeah,
we might as well.
All right. All right. Whenever you're ready, sir, go for it.
Well, I know you didn't think we were going to get through the Monday Night Raw on Netflix without me having more time to talk about The Rock. Because, as I've mentioned many times before, and I'm sorry if you love him, The Rock annoys the crap out of me, and I really want... Now, I will say this, not because he's necessarily a trash human being like Hulk Hogan, okay? But he is the most insincere, full of himself, disingenuous, like it is so fake I can't even help it anymore. There was a whole WrestleMania thing last year where he thought he was just going to come in, get the match with Roman, and everyone would love him. And we're like, no, we kind of want to have Cody and finish the story since you spent 2 years telling the story.
Yeah.
And they changed that, and then he turned bad. Everyone's like, oh, look how great he is. But that pissed him off. Then he shows up, because if you remember again, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, he threatens Cody, gives him something to put in his pocket, what some people think was like the watch or whatever, and said, I'll be back for you in that title, basically. Also did that weird thing where they're like, let's hold each other's belts, man. And that was really weird. Then he came out with his belt that is not a real championship. It was just given to him by the widow of Muhammad Ali, and that's cool and all, but doesn't mean you got to wear it everywhere like you're a fan in the front row. And then he's going to pretend like him and Cody are best buds and be like, hey, what's up, bro? Love you. Appreciate you. Say hi to Mama Rhodes. Then, because everyone was like, hey, Rock, what's up with that? Apparently last night on NXT, he had to address that because The Rock cannot stand being criticized and not thought to be completely perfect. Jason, this goes without saying. 100%.
Will agree with that for sure. Yeah. So,
but yeah, Rock, we get it. Like your contract says, you can't get beat up, and you have to have more punches than Vin Diesel in the Fast and the Furious movies. And again, you lied to us. Nobody read Black Adam comics when they were little. All right, you just read him as at best part of other stories like Kingdom Come and stuff like that. What's that?
So he technically didn't have any comics on his own until about 2000. Anyway,
yeah.
Sorry.
So just stop, Rock. Just stop.
Okay.
Also, Angel, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, Tommy, is there anything you want to say this week, or?
Sure. Yeah, I got something.
Oh, I just saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Go for it, Tommy.
Anyway, this is still shouting out what I was talking about Wrestle Kingdom with the whole Doki situation, and I do legitimately, in all seriousness, want to shout out the refs of pro wrestling, the guys who legitimately are responsible for keeping the wrestlers safe in the ring. I know, sometimes things happen and they can't always, be as attentive and quick for whatever reason. Things happen, like I said, so that's fine. But the speed of which the referee stopped the match to make sure Doki was okay, I 100% respect. And I get that it sucked that the match ended that way. I'm sure it sucked for Doki more the fact that his shoulder is now separated and he'll probably be out for months. So I think everyone else who said, they had to stop the match and, the match quality went down. Yeah, but a man's shoulder was out of place, guys. So let's everybody calm down. So just shout out to the referees and the staff of New Japan for that, because that I really do love how they did that. I think that was very professional, very quick, very on time, and I love how they took care of their guys. And shout out to Doki. It sucks that it happened, but I am proud to see that you got to Wrestle Kingdom. You'll be back there next year, I'm more than sure, and everything's going to be all right. This is one setback. This isn't the end. Dude, you're awesome. So proud to see where you are. And, I'm sure you and Desperado will have a rematch, and it's going to be a banger of a match, and I can't wait because you're two of the best junior heavyweights out there right now. So,
very nice.
Thanks. It just sucked, and I know that must have, because you could probably sense the disappointment in the building, not because the referee stopped the match, but because it's the dude
they didn't get to see it finish, and
and poor Doki and Despy, man. I mean, you get to be you're high up on the card, you're one of the last 5 or 4 matches to go on, and that happens. It sucks, and he's probably done that same move 100 times, and he's oh, that stings, ow, that hurts, let me get back up and keep going. And he does it this time and really shoulder. Now you pick now to go out of place. Really?
It was who was it? Rick Boogs a couple years ago, first match of WrestleMania, tears his knee or whatever, doing a press slam, and it's just sometimes the timing's just
and especially with the biggest show, you're finally to that big stage. You're gonna get to show everyone, and that happens. I feel bad for them, man. It's damn it, that's the worst. Bro. It sucks.
It's the life of a wrestler sometimes.
It is, and like I said, that's why that's why I'm always it happens. It's oh, how could they let themselves get hurt? No, that could have happened any night. It just sucked it happened that night. Yeah. So
just hope the recovery goes well, and
exactly
they put off a banger when they do come back.
Oh yeah, they're gonna kill it when they have a rematch.
My women in warning. I first want to address an award that I forgot to hand out last week that I had in my mind, had it written down, but I completely forgot.
Okay.
Is the Pyro of the Year award. and for the future, I'm going to name this after the first recipient of it, and that is Orange Cassidy, because every time I see it, it doesn't matter. You remember he's coming out one bottle rocket, and it's freaking grand. It's amazing. So let's just call this from now on the Orange Cassidy Pyro of the Year, and we'll stick with that. Secondly, I just want to say, can we not have the echoing this with Mike? Can we not have The Rock on NXT like ever again? Why did he slap Ethan Page's ass? It made
What was that? I saw that clip.
You could have just let him walk out and then have that little promo with your daughter. That would have been great.
Yeah, why are you slapping another man's ass in front of your daughter? That's weird.
Finally, I want to say this.
Like, I'm not trying to judge, but just with your daughter.
There's a winter storm coming in. Everyone, please be safe, be warm. I know everybody calls it the Waffle House effect. If a Waffle House is closing, you know shit is about to go down. In Texas, let's just pin it. If you see Ted Cruz at an airport, especially in Houston, shit's about to go down. So everyone, please be safe. He was spotted in Houston Hobby. You know that motherfucker's on.
Oh, damn, we're about to lose power for 4 days. God damn it.
Yes. So everyone, please make sure your ACs, your HVAC systems, your heaters are up to snuff. You don't need a mad rush for toilet paper. We'll be fine. But just be safe out there. Stay warm.
Plenty of leaves and stuff out in the yard.
Bring your pets.
Wow.
If your kids play, baseball or softball, bring the composite bats in. Those suckers got to stay warm too. Believe me, they're pretty expensive. All right.
That was awesome.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Well, this Saturday, speaking of all the weather going on, Hybrid Experience is running their first show of the year, January 11th, Hybrid School of Wrestling, 7 p.m. start time, doors at 6. I don't know if there's central heating there, but
it's going to be hot enough.
Yeah, it's warm.
It's going to be warm with all the bodies in there, I'm sure.
No, that building better not have central heating. As hot as it gets, we're there regardless. No, there better not be one heater in that damn building. No, all of you shut up. We'll deal with it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll have mine in my trunk in case I need it because we do take those out to games.
That's fine for you.
Cold, yeah.
I'm saying no central heating in that damn building.
Oh.
It doesn't need it.
And then one other quick thing, JC, because you'll appreciate this. As Tommy mentioned, there actually is a Friday show this evening or this coming Friday. TWA, like we said, it's their Rumble, like they cash in Rumble or something, and several hybrid people are going to be there. Casey's going to be in the Rumble. Callie actually does have a women's title match. But for the RCW, not the hybrid belt. And I was planning to go until Texas advanced to the semifinals and the game Friday night. So I do got to stay home and watch that game. Because
I love it.
Yeah. So sorry, TWA, that was planning to go. Sorry, Casey. Callie, I don't care about you.
30 calls, go Horns, beat the Bucks. It's Cotton Bowl.
There you go.
I'm gonna try to go. So let's see what happens. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I do got to watch Texas in those semis. So.
If you go, we're going to be like a Dax Shepard, the Golden Globes, trying to watch the Lions game. I don't know if you guys saw that video.
I did.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think the Lions are going to win the whole thing. I've been saying it all season. I'm sticking with it. So
what the Lions? You mean like the whole thing as far as like
the Super Bowl?
Really?
Yes, I said it. If you go back and listen to the Sports Minorities podcast, I said the first episode of the season. I said the Lions will win the Super Bowl. That is my prediction.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sticking with it.
Huh. I don't think I
hope it's Detroit and Buffalo because that would be historic either way.
Really? You don't think it's going to make it?
I know. I don't. One, I don't want to see it. Two, they've been getting so goddamn lucky. No. I agree
with you on that part.
Whether it's Baltimore or Buffalo that they face in the AFC Championship, those teams are on a tear right now. But I really
you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
So,
let's just see how strong the refs are in that game. So
right.
Also, if you ever want to watch comedy related to football, check out Tom Grossi on YouTube. He is freaking hilarious.
Nice.
I love that guy.
By the way, one final thing. I would love it if Pat McAfee brought the disclaimer before his show, before Raw on Netflix, now that it is on Netflix. One of my favorite things that disclaimer is like you might hear some cuss words because that's how people talk. And that is really great. I would love to see that. So next week, we will preview TNA Genesis. And that's kind of loading up into what is going to be a busy week in San Antonio for wrestling. Genesis, of course, is taking place in Dallas, but then, hey, we got Impact being live in San Antonio, Impact tapings the next day, and Saturday Night Main Event that following Saturday. So we're going to be discussing next week Genesis, which is going to be the lead up into
TNA Genesis.
Yep.
And Anthem said, "Let there be fights."
Yes, I like it.
Well done, sir.
Great show. Thank you, everybody over here. We got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. As always, heels and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real.
People
are fake.
Good night, Angel, I think. We just got, boy.
Adios, Gunther. Yes, we're in hybrid this weekend.